Chapter 1. Smoke and ash gave way to a suffocating obsession. Ever since my firefighter boyfriend, Riker, pulled my sister, Gemma, from that inferno, she had been treating him like her personal oxygen tank. Dr. Simon's words still echoed in my ears. She's developed severe attachment issues. She can't go 24 hours without him. Every date night became a table for 3. We even moved her into our shared apartment. 24 hours before I was supposed to walk down the aisle, Gemma spiraled. She swallowed an entire bottle of Ambien. The ICU machines beat, a frantic, mocking rhythm. Riker hurled the empty pill bottle against the hospital wall. Glass shattered across the linoleum. She's a nightmare. How long is she going to hold us hostage? My parents, Bruce and Lorraine, broke down. We begged him to save her. He did. And the pattern locked in. Attempt number 8 at a wedding. Another perfectly timed panic attack. Another collapse. I gripped Riker's forearm. My nails dug into his skin. The courthouse. Please. Let's just sign the papers first. He wrenched his arm away. The force sent me stumbling back. Are you out of your mind? His jaw ticked, a massive red flag I always ignored. Gemma is practically dying, and you're obsessed with a piece of paper. Selfish. A sharp sting exploded across my cheek. Lorraine stood over me, chest heaving, tears streaming down her face. You know she can't breathe without him. You're rushing this wedding just to kill your own sister. They didn't look back. They sprinted down the hallway, leaving me in the dust. A heavy, metallic sigh echoed in my skull. Time is up, Maeve. Arlo's voice was flat, robotic. You turn 30 tomorrow. 24 hours left to marry the male lead, or you will be completely erased from existence. I pulled out my phone. The screen glowed with the birthday countdown widget Riker had installed for me months ago. A broken laugh ripped from my throat. It tasted like blood and ash. My vision blurred. Hot, pathetic tears tracked down my stinging cheek. The sterile smell of the hospital hit me like a physical blow. Gemma was awake. She was drowning in Riker's oversized CFD training shirt, her head tucked perfectly into the crook of his neck. The door clicked shut behind me. Her gaze locked onto the diamond on my left hand. Then, it dropped to Riker's large hand gripping her waist. Why are you and Riker wearing matching rings? Her voice was whisper thin. Did I ruin your special day again, Maeve? No. Never. Lorraine lunged at me. Her fingers dug into my knuckles. She forcefully twisted the wedding band off my finger. The metal scraped my skin raw. This is a special gift. Lorraine stuttered, forcing a wide smile. Your sister and Riker bought it just for you. A matching set. One for you, one for him. Gemma gasped, pressing both hands over her mouth. Really? I love it so much. Riker didn't even flinch. He took her delicate hand and slid my ring onto her finger. Yeah, his voice was incredibly soft, a tone he rarely used on me anymore. Knew you'd love the sparkle. All for you. A sharp, throbbing ache pulsed in my stripped finger. Bruce and Lorraine crowded around the bed, cooing and snapping photos of the happy couple on their phones. I stood in the corner. A ghost in my own life. My fingernail sliced crescent moons into my palms. I waited. I stood completely still until the monitors showed her heart rate steadying, until Riker finally coaxed her to sleep. I stepped closer. My trembling fingers caught the edge of his t-shirt. Riker. The word barely scraped past the lump in my throat. She's out. Please. Let's just go to the courthouse. Right now. His head snapped up. Total disgust twisted his features. His hand immediately covered Gemma's ear, shielding her from my existence. Are you in that much of a rush? He hissed, keeping his voice dangerously low. It took me hours to get her to smile, and you want to leave her here? Acid burned the back of my throat. My lungs simply stopped working. Do you remember? I choked on the air. Do you remember what I told you? That if I don't marry you before I turn 30, I'll literally die? A glowing, blood-red hourglass materialized in my field of vision. Arlo's countdown. 23 hours left. The rhythmic tick-tock vibrated against my skull like a reaper's scythe dragging across concrete. My knees threatened to buckle. I will die, Riker. I'm not making it up. Just drive me to the courthouse. 10 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Chapter 2. Riker's jaw tightened, a deep crease forming between his brows. Maeve, I am not doing this with you right now, he snapped. Simon said another 10 minutes and Gemma would be brain dead. They just pumped her stomach. I am not leaving her side. Lorraine dug her acrylics into my shoulder, her voice a venomous hiss. What kind of sister are you? Your sister was literally fighting for her life, and you're whining about a wedding? The commotion stirred Gemma. Her pale fingers weakly curled into the fabric of Riker's sleeve. Where are you guys going? It's fine, just leave me your jacket, Riker. I'll be okay. She blinked up at me, huge tears spilling over her lashes. Please don't be mad at me, Maeve. I don't want to be this needy. I just need a scent to ground me. You guys go. Riker practically dug back onto the mattress, hauling her against his chest. I'm not going anywhere. I've got you. He shot a pointed look over his shoulder at Lorraine. Lorraine shoved me hard toward the hallway. Go get her some Panera. She needs soup. Now. I scrambled, catching Lorraine's wrist. Mom, please. I'm not making this up. Just give me 30 minutes with him. There's a system. If I don't marry Riker before I turn 30, it will erase me. I will cease to exist. Lorraine's face twisted with pure disgust. She swung her designer purse, slamming the heavy buckle into my ribs. You sick, jealous girl. Your sister is in the hospital and you're making up sci-fi delusions for attention? She swung again. It's just a piece of paper. Let him take care of her for one night. You are unbelievably toxic. Bruce stood in the doorway, shaking his head in absolute disappointment. He slammed the heavy oak door right in my face. My knees gave out. The cold linoleum crashed against my shins. Air trapped in my windpipe. A severe tremor ripped through my spine. Above me, the glowing red hourglass bled out another massive chunk of sand. I wasn't lying. I pressed my forehead against the freezing hospital wall. Tomorrow, I become nothing. The hospital corridor was dead quiet when Riker finally stepped out. Maeve, look. I'm sorry. He ran a frustrated hand through his messy hair. I really cannot leave. Her anxiety is off the charts. She refuses her meds unless I'm the one giving them to her. I stared at the man I loved. My vision tunneled. Tomorrow morning. First thing. The courthouse. My voice was hollow, devoid of any pitch. Riker, I am out of time. He blinked, the tension draining from his shoulders. A slow, arrogant smirk tugged at the corner of his mouth. Damn. You're that obsessed with locking me down, huh? I didn't blink. I didn't smile back. Yes. The only reason I exist in this world is to marry you. He leaned in, his lips brushing my cheek, a fleeting, obligatory pressure. All right, crazy. Go home. I'll get her to sleep and meet you at the apartment. We'll be the first ones at the courthouse when the doors open. The warmth in his eyes acted like a momentary anesthetic. The crushing weight on my chest eased slightly. Just sign the papers. Then the nightmare ends. My hand subconsciously drifted to my lower stomach. The fabric of my shirt felt impossibly thin under my fingertips. I had a secret. A surprise waiting for him once we were finally safe. Sunlight stabbed through the blinds. I shot up. The sheets beside me were cold. Smooth. Riker never came home. 9 a.m. The spectral hourglass suspended in my vision was brutally half empty. Beep. A long, piercing frequency split my skull. 12 hours remaining. Arlo's voice was devoid of mercy. Accelerate your progress, Maeve. I shoved our marriage license and IDs into my purse. My fingers shook uncontrollably as I typed out a text. Heading to the courthouse now. What's your ETA? I stood on the courthouse steps. The wind ripped right through my thin sweater. No response. I hit call. One ring. Call ended. He declined it. A text bubble finally popped up. Simon is doing morning rounds. Be a good girl and wait outside for a bit. A second later, a photo loaded. It was a selfie. Gemma, looking frail and delicate, was fast asleep. Her face was buried deep into the curve of Riker's neck.